recently I had the absolute honor to speak in front of a group of women called Food for Thought about unconditional self-love. And although it was not videotaped, I do like to practice speaking in front of the video camera, so I wanted to share what I had to say. So here it is. Take a look. Hello. So I am so excited to be speaking about unconditional love tonight. My name is Audrey Michel. I'm a writer, a speaker, and I soon have a book coming out called Rewired Life, a journey to love yourself, heal your body and mind, and celebrate life. So when I was asked to speak about love and unconditional self-love, the first question that came to my mind was, how do you find unconditional self-love when you feel broken or damaged, or like you don't belong or you're not good enough, all of those things that we all feel from one time or another on one subject or another. So my story starts when I was 14. I was diagnosed with endometriosis, which is a chronic, incurable disease that attacks a woman's reproductive system. And basically the lining of my uterus grew outside of my uterus. And these sticky cells cause pain and hormone issues and issues with the other organs that they're stuck to, and infertility, and just a myriad of symptomatic problems. And so what I want to talk about tonight, in addition to the obvious physical issues that the disease caused for me, I want to talk about emotionally and mentally and spiritually what the disease put me through and how I got to a place of healing with that. So again, diagnosed at 14, that's a time when you're transitioning from being a child to a woman, and you're supposed to be learning to love yourself and love that process and love being a woman, right? And my story is 180 degrees from that. So I was at a place of definitely really disliking the fact that because I was female, I had to put up with this, excruciating pain and complete dysfunction when it came to my period, and just really angry about the fact that because I was a woman, my body hurt so bad, and really hating that my body hurt and hating that I had a uterus, and making jokes that I just want a new body, or maybe we should just get rid of this uterus because it doesn't do me any good. All it brings to me is pain. And so just really heavy negative thoughts and emotions and beliefs forming as I was becoming a woman. And so I was clearly very frustrated, and the way that I dealt with it was to compartmentalize my life and compartmentalize this disease. So that was this thing over here that I, dealt with and threw some pills at, and yeah, I had surgery and the blah, blah, blah. But over here was my life, and I so didn't want to be the sick girl or the broken girl or any of that. And so I did everything I knew to do to run away from being sick, and to cover up the fact that I was sick, and to prove to myself that I was not sick. So, I was a chronic overachiever, and, the classic high school athlete. I was a state swimmer and ran track and was on the dance team and graduated at the top 10% of my class, and went on to college and ended up winning a full ride scholarship, and graduated from the top of my college class and went on to have a successful career, and the whole thing, the whole 9 yards that you're supposed to do, I did. And, I'm really proud of a lot of that. But at the same time, it was all created as a way of not having to deal with being sick, and as a way to prove to myself that I'm not sick. And so it was all very unhealthy and very much emotionally unhealthy. And so in in 2008, when I was 27, it all caught up with me. This pattern of running from the disease and all of these negative thoughts and beliefs just piling on. It was a bunch of stuff I wasn't necessarily dealing with. And in 2008, the disease really took over my life and really expanded to my, to take over my existence. And I hit rock bottom. And I was, endometriosis took me to this very dark place that I was forced to deal with, the physicality of it, but also the emotional and mental and spiritual things that I had been avoiding. So my question tonight was, how do you transition? How do you go from, being in this place of not getting out of bed, and I had lost my job, and I was taking pill after pill after pill for, taking pills for side effects, and so just really disconnected from myself. And so how do you make that transition from, I hate my body, I hate my situation, I don't want this disease, I'm tired of being tired. How do you transition into loving and accepting yourself? It was hard, and it took a really long time, because I didn't know how, I could never grasp how many layers upon layers upon layers, this mask, wearing this mask, what that had done to me emotionally and spiritually, of just running from who I was authentically. So the first step was to be at ease and not make my current situation bad or wrong, and so to be at ease with my current situation. And even though it was like a complete shitstorm, like I hated all of it, not getting out of bed and just hating it. It was awful. I didn't want to be a part of it. I wanted my life back. But I really had to be at ease and choose to do what was best for me and my health in that moment. And for a long time, that looked like sleep and just disconnecting from the chaos of life and allowing my body time to heal, and accepting the 17 years of chronic pain and layers of crap that had just piled on. It was everything I was running from, and I had to accept it. And that is really hard and humbling, and it's one of those things that nobody wants to do. Like, you don't want to admit that, you have trauma, or, you've been through this horrible, awful thing, and just feel like, yeah, I mean, that's my life. It happened to me, and I'm okay. I am okay. So to just accept that it was shitty and I'm okay, really allowed me to get to a place of just loving myself, like all the good, the bad, the ugly, the resentful, the fear, the anger that had built up. I really had to accept and love that about myself. And the more emotional and spiritual work I did, the more layers were peeled off, the more stuff I could let go, and the closer I became to becoming my true self, my authentic self, and really loving myself. And I had to really choose health. Like I said, every day I had to make a conscious decision. Is what I'm doing in this moment going to help me heal? And I had to really look at, as each layer peeled back, I had to ask myself, what am I supposed to be learning here? Like, I was put through almost 2 decades of chronic pain and disease. Like, what was I supposed to learn from that? What was I supposed to gain from that? Once I started the healing process, I never once believed that I was going to be stuck in the disease forever. I truly believed that I could get out of it and I would get out of it. And becoming authentically me was the first step, and really just ripping off the mask and saying, look, here's what I've been through. And I'm not proud of the way I dealt with it, but it is what I knew to do at the time. And it's okay. And I'm going to grow and I'm going to learn, and it's going to be awesome. And so one of the things that really helped me was affirmations about, I love and accept myself in the current moment, or I am loved, or, I am good enough. Which, if you've never done it before, might sound a little bit silly, but as you start to change your verbiage, you start to notice your verbiage. And you start to notice where you're being negative, or where you're stuck, or where, at one point, like for me to look at myself in the mirror and look into my own eyes and say, I love and accept who I am authentically, was like I couldn't do it. And so I knew there was some work to be done there, spiritually and emotionally. And so that was a big game changer for me. So one of the things I wanted to share with you was, share my story and share how I was able to make that transition, but also share some of my favorite affirmations. So I brought 30. I'm giving away 30 of my favorite love yourself affirmations, which you can get on my website if you just grab a card, or if you give me your card, I will get you on the list and get you set up for my favorite 30 affirmations. But I'm just really excited to be here and excited to share my story, and hope that within my story, other women see hope and see that there is another side to pain and disease, or, whatever it is you're dealing with in life, whatever your obstacle is, there is another side, and to just authentically love yourself through it and continually ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning? What am I supposed to be learning here is so big. So that's all I have. Thank you.